welcome back to Phenomena. This is season 5, episode 10, the last episode of season 5 before we move on to season 6. Wow, so exciting. Thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that me, along with the team, can continue to bring you fun, educational content. Thanks so much for coming along on this journey. Today's episode is going to be about El Dorado, a gold digger's paradise. Ooh. Okay, so this lovely script was written by our lovely co-producer, Jodelle. Thank you so much, Jodelle. I appreciate you. Ruben, while they were checking the script before it got to me, because I cold read every episode, as you know, or if you don't know, now you do. They mentioned that it was a little uncomfortable, and I have a feeling it's because, like, conquistadors. If I know anything, if the movie Road to El Dorado by DreamWorks, I'm pretty sure it's by DreamWorks, is to be trusted, then I think we can go ahead and assume that the history of El Dorado, the lost city, so to speak, of El Dorado, if it ever existed at all, was over what's the word? I want to say overwrought. I don't even know if that's a word. It caught the attention of conquistadors and gold diggers and people that just like were like gold, 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 gold. I mean, everyone knows what happened during the California gold rush. Like, people are just crazy when it comes to gold and money and whatever, money's fake, it doesn't matter. So El Dorado, I'm curious to kind of know if it ever existed, what the theories are, and like how it even came to be known as the city of gold. Is it just because it's called El Dorado? And then if that's the case, like, there's a bunch of cities that are just named after things. Los Angeles. We don't have angels here. I mean, our lovely scriptwriter Angel lives here, so I guess we do. But you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. Let's dive in though, shall we? All right. If you think Mr. Krabs, I did not think this episode was going to start with Mr. Krabs, but here we go. If you think Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob is a gross character, then this episode might not be for you, because today's phenomenon is powered by greed, obsession, and some truly unhinged decision-making. Yeah, this is going to be very greedy, probably, because the fact that people are like willing to like kill for gold is bonkers, because what do you mean? Like, also gold as a metal, not very strong. I don't understand who gave gold its like value. Like, why does gold have value? Because gold and gold nuggets are like, they're not the strongest metal. Like, if anything, like platinum is better, in my opinion, but whatever. The obsession with El Dorado helped fuel centuries of conquest, violence, and one of the largest transfers of wealth in human history. Oh no. I'm also curious like where it took place, because I don't remember. At Spain? Maybe? I don't know. So much gold was taken from the Americas and shipped to Europe that it didn't just make empires rich. It reshaped the global economy, laying the groundwork for the gold standard and causing hyperinflation along the way. Oh no. So sounds like gold was not the move, but here we are. The 2000s animated musical, The Road to... It's a musical? I guess they do have some songs that they sing. I don't know that I'd call it a musical, but I guess it is. It's a really good movie, though. I like it. But even in that movie, they show that, like, you know, obviously, like, the two guys are like, I'm not like other girls. And they're all like, we respect the, like, people of El Dorado. But then all the other conquistadors are like, take me to your city so we can pillage and plunder. So the 2000s animated musical, The Road to El Dorado, might have turned the legend into a lighthearted adventure. Oh no. But the real story behind El Dorado is rooted in misunderstanding, exploitation, and death. Great. Yeah, I feel like so many things back then were about that. I don't get it. Like, what happened to, like, why didn't people have empathy? I just don't understand. I feel like it's primitive and unevolved, if you ask me. In terms of like people being like all aggression forward and being like, we're gonna kill for this gold. It's like, really? Like you're not evolved enough to see people as humans, and that's weird. So, ew. Revealing some of the most spectacularly dark sides of humanity. Yikes. Okay, if anything, I think this is good to at least know about. so that hopefully we don't make the same mistakes again. Today, we're not chasing a city of gold. We're chasing the truth of a rumor that became a legend. Ooh, truth of a rumor that became a legend. Okay, bars. Whoa. Yeah. At the very least, we're a journalistic podcast now. No, I'm kidding. But we can, I am curious about the true story of El Dorado and like what happened to it. Did it even have gold? Obviously, I don't know if it is anything like the animated movie. Like, was it a city of gold? I don't know. I guess let's find out. Quick pause for announcements. Today, I want to shout out a very special project that is a fan film, actually, that I am an art director on. Yay! It's called Scream Descent. And with the new Scream 7 coming out this year, like, it's pretty topical, if you ask me. They made another fan film for the movie Halloween, and that was really great. It was called Halloween Aftermath. You can check it out on YouTube if you look for it. I watched it. It's great. I cried at the end. Like, it's good. It's well written. Great job, Cole. Cole is the producer and Cam is the director for this particular feature, but the Instagram is Scream Descent Movie. Yay. So we shot the proof of concept, I guess you can call it that, or I guess the first scene of the movie before like the title card shows up back in, when was it? October, November? I don't know. Time is blending together. But it's kind of in like the fan fundraising part now. And then we're going to go back and shoot starting in like April. So very exciting. Definitely follow along because it's great. It's really great. And it's well written, in my opinion. It was really, really fun to do the opening scene. Lots of blood and gore and fun. And yeah, it was awesome to be able to dress the set. I love being an art director for a movie. It's so great. And I get to work with really, really awesome people. And it's a blast, honestly. So if you want to follow along on that super fun adventure, because I know I think the trailer just dropped and yeah, there's going to be more that's going to be like posted on there. It's Scream Descent. So Descent spelled Descent, in case you're wondering. It's that whole SC of it all. Scream Descent Movie on Instagram. So yay. And then when it comes out, I'll probably re-mention it. And then I think we're slated to interview Cam, the director, on PHENOMANNOUNCEMENTS for the next seance episode. So stay tuned. Oh, speaking of seance, also, we dropped a new seance episode with good friend of the pod, Taylor, also known as Skeptical Heretic, on all platforms. So yeah, check that out because it's really good and great. And I think that's episode 5. That's crazy. We've been doing 5 months of that show. Anyway, definitely check it out. All right, without further ado, let's get into the lore. Oh no, I'm worried what the lore is about for this. More than 1,000 years before the Spanish ever arrived in what is now Colombia. I leave for Colombia tomorrow. Crazy. Whoa. For a wedding, actually. My 2 dear friends are getting married. Yay, love. I love love. I'm so excited. It's my first time in Colombia. I'm so pumped. We're in Pereira, which is a very small town that I've never even knew existed, to be honest. And then also Cartagena. And then, yeah, so we're going to just like gallivant around Colombia. So that's going to be fun. But wow. Okay. So more than 1,000 years before the Spanish ever arrived in what is now Colombia, the northern region of South America was home to diverse indigenous societies, each with its own culture, language, and social structure. Ooh, I didn't realize that the Spanish took over Colombia or like arrived there even. In the movie, it definitely shows like a very rich cultural civilization that, just was chilling and doing great in El Dorado before the Spanish conquistadors came over. Well, in the movie, it's like very happy because they don't ever get to it. And there's like they get blocked off from going there, which is good. But unfortunately, I don't think that's exactly how it went down. In the interior Andean mountains, a civilization known as the Muisca flourished. Muisca. It almost looks like musica. Muisca. Like many indigenous cultures throughout the Americas, gold held deep religious and symbolic significance within their society. Yeah, like I feel like I understand gold as a like a spiritual thing. And I know like in the movie, truly the only thing I know about El Dorado is from the movie. So like bear with me because I'm learning along with you, which is why I chose this to close out season 5 so I can learn more about it. But I know like in the movie, they show Xibalba or whatever, which is like the pit that they believe is connected to the gods. And then they give the gold to the gods. And gold is more of like, has a more spiritual like sense to it, which I can understand that. I don't think like from a value perspective, if we're talking about like, I don't know, like diamonds are a whole other thing, and why they're, so popular and exploited for engagement rings is a whole other thing. But at least diamond is like the hardest crystal, right? That it's like a 10 out of 10 on the Mohs hardness scale. Gold is like not very, it's malleable, so that's good, but then like that doesn't mean that it's not really that tough. So I don't get it. Aside from having a symbolic, like spiritual significance, I don't know why it would be considered valuable. I still don't really get it. I'm sure there's a reason, but it wasn't currency. It was ritual, identity, and belief. Their artisans worked gold extensively, incorporating it into ceremonial objects and iconography. In the early 16th century, after the fall of the Inca Empire, Spanish conquistadors turned north. Sorry. I was like, north? South? Okay. Turned north and began their brutal conquest of Colombia. No, Colombia. When they encountered highly developed societies like Muisca and saw how much gold was used in everyday life, they became obsessed. Greed. At first, the rumors spoke of a gold king, then a golden city. Oh my God. Okay. So they just like went and they were like, yo, y'all use gold for everything. You must have more gold hidden. Like, that's the thing. Projection has always been around forever. And it's like, if they are crazy about gold, they just like assume other societies are too. Like I don't know, it seems very bizarre. And eventually, an entire golden kingdom hidden somewhere beyond the reach of maps. In 1536, Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada led nearly 900 men into the Colombian Andes in search of that kingdom. So they saw that Colombia had a lot of gold incorporated into its everyday life and iconography and ceremonial objects. And so they were like, yo, y'all must have a city of gold somewhere. This just feels like a rumor that like got out of hand, kind of. The expedition conquered the Muisca people and even dredged Lake Guatavita, hoping to recover unimaginable riches. Instead, they found far less gold than expected. Yeah, because who even decided there was a bunch of gold everywhere? They just, like, I feel like they thought, like, oh, if you have enough to spare for, like, ceremonial stuff, then you must have, like, a whole safe of it hidden. So it's just so, it's projection of, like, what they see gold as versus actually trying to understand what the Colombian people saw gold as. Rather than ending the search, that disappointment convinced them the real El Dorado was still out there. Oh no, this is just, yeah, it's just people refusing to give up, which in this case was not great at all. Ugh, like at some point you gotta give up. You can't find it. It's like the Oak Island money pit. If you keep digging and there's nothing there, there's probably nothing there. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like you can't dig to the other side of the earth to try to figure out this gold or this treasure that you have convinced yourself is out there. Over the following decades, expedition after expedition pushed deeper into South America, often ending in starvation, disease, and violence. Violence is so primitive. One such journey in 1541, led by Gonzalo Pizarro, fell apart so badly that his subordinate, Francisco de Orellana, broke off and continued downriver on his own, accidentally becoming the first European to travel the length of the Amazon. Accidentally. Interesting. Just because he was in search of this El Dorado city? Orellana returned to Europe with stories of vast, complex civilizations lining the riverbanks. To many Europeans, this sounded like confirmation. Surely a golden kingdom still existed somewhere beyond the jungle. Just because there's people that have figured out how to live out there, was there any evidence of gold? They just thought, oh, these people figured it out, must be gold. By the late 16th century, El Dorado had become a prize, and prizes draw rivals. During the Anglo-Spanish War, English adventurer Sir Walter Raleigh entered the chat, if you will. After gathering information from captured Spanish explorers, Raleigh became convinced El Dorado lay near a massive inland body of water he called Lake Parime? Parime is how it's spelled. but I'm sure it's Parima. He launched expeditions, found nothing, and then did what colonizers do best when reality disappoints them. He wrote dramatic accounts anyway. Those writings were wildly influential. European map makers began printing Lake Parime onto official maps, effectively turning a rumor into a geographic fact. The myth of El Dorado became so entrenched that it reshaped European understanding of South America, despite never actually being found. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Raleigh's career eventually ended in disgrace and execution, but the damage was done. What? So his career ended in disgrace and execution, probably because he broke off from the other general, but the rumor just held on. Wow, this is bizarre. It almost feels like people were trying to find a reason to just like conquer and pillage and plunder. His stories weakened Spanish control and encouraged other European powers, including the Dutch and French, to also try their hands at colonizing the region. Oh no, what? And then also there's a photo, which the photo that was obstructing my view, but here it is. Wow, lots. It's black and white for me, but I'm sure it looks better on here. Let me actually see what it looks like. Nope, it's still black and white, actually. Never mind. Oh my God, there's like a sea monster and... What is this of? There's a sea monster eating some people. What is the sea serpent? That's a little spooky, crazy. Spooky, crazy, creepy, wild. Okay, so his accounts of the river and all the things that he said that he found there made it like super popular. And then a bunch of other people were like, oh my God, I need to go check it out. Expeditions continued into the 17th and 18th centuries, most still searching for Lake Parime. Could they not find it? And also in this photo, it looks like there's serpents in Lake Parime. So why are you trying to find it? It wasn't until 1804 that German explorer Alexander von Humboldt effectively proved the lake did not exist. Oh, okay. Instead, he suggested the myth likely came from seasonal flooding in the Rupununi savanna. Okay, so maybe this guy saw some flooding and was like, there's a lake. And then people tried to find it. And after it like went down, they were like, wait, there is no lake. In this way, the beautiful culture of the Muisca people had been transformed over centuries of greed and exaggeration into a golden fantasy. Wow, that's so annoying. It just feels like they literally ruined their whole civilization for the promise of a fictional place, which sucks. So let's get into the theories / truth. Instead of theories, we're talking truth today. Okay, nice, love it. Contrary to modern belief, El Dorado, which literally translates to the Gilded One, originally referred to a person, not a city. Crazy that the Spanish were the ones not clocking this. Yeah, what? The Gilded One. So like a golden person? This misunderstanding likely came from a sacred ritual practiced by the Muisca people whenever a new chief was appointed. During the ceremony, the chief would be covered in fine gold dust and step onto a raft on Lake Guatavita, accompanied by golden offerings and emeralds. The raft would be paddled to the center of the lake where the chief would cast the gold and jewels into the water as offerings to the gods before diving in himself, washing away the gold to complete the ritual. Ooh, cool. That sounds kind of fun and nice and crazy that people were like, oh my God, there's a golden person. And it's like, okay, if you just stayed and watched the rest of the ritual and listened and learned, maybe you would have clocked the fact that it was just a person and a part of a ritualistic offering. Also, my friend who's getting married, her engagement ring is an emerald. So that's fun because that is like what Colombia is also like known for is emeralds. So that's a little fun fact. That was El Dorado, not a city, but a person performing a sacred ritual. So who saw him? Or was it just like rumors of people being like, and there's a golden man. Wait, the golden man, the golden city, there's a city. Like, wow, this is really a game of telephone. And here's the important part. This practice is believed to have ended 40 to 50 years before the Spanish ever arrived, meaning no European ever witnessed it firsthand. I knew it. That bothers me. But that didn't stop colonizers, armed with imagination and greed, from taking fragments of evidence and warping the idea of a golden king into something far bigger. Oh no, this is literally just the how do they know about this? Or did they, I don't know. I guess it must have been like seriously like a game of telephone. And someone said misunderstood the Gilded One to mean a golden city. And anyway, in closing, today, El Dorado has been thoroughly discredited, a myth born from ritual and sustained through centuries of violent European colonial obsession. And though many of these Europeans lost their lives, and that still pales in comparison to the horrific impact they brought upon the lands and indigenous tribes they tore through in pursuit of insatiable greed. The fable of El Dorado is a dark reminder of the power of storytelling and how the pen can not only inspire the mind, but also enslave it. Yeah, because clearly people were like not willing to let it go. And they were like, oh, if that colonizer didn't find it, then I will. And it's like, wow, I really hope we can learn from this. And at the very least now we know it is a myth. El Dorado is not real and never was. It's literally like the Oak Island money pit. It's just not, if you can't find it, it's a sunken cost fallacy too. Like I'm sure people were like, well, we've came all this way. Like there must be, like it's just like people trying to hang on to a semblance of a reason for why they like trekked to all this way, even if they didn't find anything, which is just bizarre. Anyway, quick reminder, we have an Expedia affiliate link, expedia.com/affiliate/phenomenal/season 5, the number 5. So book your next trip to Colombia. Yay! Oh my God, I'm so excited to go check it out. I can't believe I'm actually going to go see Colombia. And then now I'll be armed with the, like, with knowledge of the Muisca people and the fact that El Dorado is not real, but how it kind of came to become a phenomenon where it's like just a story that just went that that got away from people. Poke pick for this episode is Mew. This is like that's like my second favorite Pokemon after Mimikyu. Mew, the new species Pokemon, Pokedex entry. This mythical Pokemon is said to be extinct, but sightings of it are still being reported to this day. Fire Red Pokedex entry. Ooh, another Pokedex entry. A Pokemon of South America that was thought to have been extinct. Wow, cool. That's fun. I didn't know Mew came from South America, but yeah, it's this whole mythical legend of it, and it's very whimsical, and like if people like think they've seen it, then they're gonna try to like pursue it, and like isn't that why they came up with Mewtwo as well? Because they were like trying to like create it in a lab. I don't know, but cool. Oh, Mew. I love it. That's a fun Pokepick for like an otherwise not so great tale. This just goes to show that Mew can be very enticing, but like you gotta make sure you clock and understand the impact that your insatiable search for Mew can have. Like, is it worth it? Or can you just allow Mew to be? You know, you don't have to catch it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. You can email us at phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Next week's episode is, in fact, going to be the Phenomena episode, so that's very exciting. We already have one Phenomena story, so get your stories in before next week's episode. Yay! And you can also just email us anything else, any ideas for episodes or what you think about the episodes or anything else, really. We also have a Patreon where we have a free tier, a $2 tier, and a $5 tier. You can show your support for the pod. Yay! And get access to some extras and bonus content. And like the Phenomena Seance episode goes live on Patreon first, which I should have mentioned. It's currently now, by the time this episode comes out, it will already be out on YouTube. But as of the recording, anyway, just know that it goes live on Patreon a week before it goes live on YouTube. So as a paid Patreon member, or can't remember if I made it available to everyone. I think I might have. Or no, I think it's available to the paid Patreon a week before and then to everyone after that. So yeah, there's perks to joining the paid Patreon is what I'm saying. But regardless, on Patreon, even the free tier, you get to see the Pokepick for every week's episode. We have like collections of them. And it's kind of like a little Pokedex. Like it's very fun. It's cute. You can see all of our Pokepicks so far. I also post my favorite GIF from the episodes because after our lovely co-producer / video editor Merrick's is done with editing the video, I go in and add GIFs. So I always have a favorite. This is the season finale. So next time on Phenomena, as I mentioned, we'll be sharing your Phenomena stories and we'll take a week break and then we'll be back with season 6. Yay! Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for your continued support for the podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you. And remember, let's explore the rabbit hole without Falling all the way down. Yay, good job. I feel like Dora the Explorer. Like, come on, kids, what is it? Come on, if you don't know the tagline by now, what you doing? You better know the tagline. That's the test. I'm gonna add a quiz to this episode and see what the tagline is. And y'all better know it, because I will be grading and not on a curve. So I'll see you next week. Bye.